Welcome, Waffle Watchers, to the final boss fight of the UK election talk Smackdown. Here we are in Clacton, and I'm Robert Fiston, and the build-up for this bash couldn't have been bigger after the current title holder issued a surprise open challenge. With me tonight, to provide your Be Afraid of Anyone of Colour commentary, is my regular co-host, Andrew Spar. Andrew, why did the PM make this extremely risky move?
Well, Robert, the key to populism is being popular, and sometimes that requires a show of strength. Unfortunately for Sunak, the heavens opened as he made the announcement, and he ended up looking more like Andy McDowell in 4 Weddings and a Funeral than Andy McNabb in the SAS. Even worse, he now finds himself caged with 5 opponents who have the measure of him, and he looks likely to come up short.
I'm glad you mentioned the cage. Let's not forget this match type was changed up a week after the initial announcement with the news that Nigel Farage was returning to make this a hell with an incel match.
That's right, and we're almost guaranteed that this will lead to some blood spilling out on the streets abound. There are concerns that this may deter some of the local town sponsors, but the fans here are going wild and seem to be determined to burn everything to the ground.
On that note, a quick reminder that tonight's battle is sponsored by Goodbye Fresh, the post-Brexit food delivery service that simplifies your weekly shopping by making you grateful for whatever you can get. Order now with the promo code REFORM for a 20% discount on the value of the pound in your pocket. And now, with everything to fight for and not much substance to vote for, let's get straight to the action. Your ring announcer is Match Caller Koonsberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Disloyal Rumble. In the blue corner, he is the master of causing disaster, the D-Day deserter, the no-sky captain himself, Rishi Sunak. In the red corner, he is the philosophical flipper, the son of a toolmaker, the $1 million former Tory donor man, Sir Keir Starmer. In the yellow corner, he is the rejoined teaser, the old folk pleaser, the village fete local geezer, Ed Davey. Parachuting into the ring for the SNP and waving a claymore, it's John Swinney. And rising from the sewer below the ring, he is the Fashmaster General, the snake, the cock, the people's trumpion, Nigel the Shitman Farage. Reform. This fight will consist of... what? Oh, of course, sorry. And in the green corner, because short rules say we have to include them, they are the dynamic duo of democracy, the planet power pairing, the recycling wrecking balls, Carla, the Mauler Denier, and Adrian Ram-Man Ramsey.
Now all of the contenders are here, this load of old slobberknocker can begin.
And I think everyone's ready to see Sunak get an arse-kicking, but the Tories have been known to pull out a miracle before, especially after their usual supporters have been staying quiet.
OK, everyone, I want a good, clean fight. No mention of Brexit. And all policies must be fully costed, as if the cuts of the last 14 years can't be reversed. go to your corners or whatever festering sludge pit you come from and come out shiting.
Andrew, surely this match is a foregone conclusion. We've been watching Starmer's build up for quite some time, and it's been a rocky road of struggle and betrayal. But now he's here, he says it's time to end the story, that this is his time to be the head of the cabinet table.
And that probably is the case, Robert. But stop for a minute and look around this parliamentary arena. Those seats need filling, and these party leaders know that every champion needs an opponent. Tonight is not only about taking that top prize, but also deciding who gets to be the number one contender going forward.
Traditionally, of course, we would assume the Tories would bounce back with a new monster for a rematch. But Starmer has promised a beating so bad this could cause an extinction event to the dinosaur that is the Tory party machine.
Only question time will tell. I can't wait to see what happens. Right from the bell, Sunak starts vomiting up the same lines he's been spewing since the announcement of this battle. A mixture of bile and shite washes over the ring canvas, but Starmer sidesteps it easily by balancing on top of the red box, containing the highest tax burden we've had in decades, already put down by Sunak himself.
Farage now elbows his way into the debate and launches a tirade of Nazi slogans. The BBC's plain English announcers table are repeating the phrase on repeat in faux outrage so as to normalise the ideas into the public discourse. But the crowd isn't as enthusiastic about watching repeats of history this time around.
Sunak looks terrified and he tries to pick up Farage's rhetoric and use it himself, only to find the spurs on the slurs are quite painful for himself.
It's a wonder how he is surprised at this, given Farage has been threatening to have leopards eat his face for the last 30 years.
Not really. It's a pattern we've seen time and time again when anyone tries to appease the far right. Something David Lammy will soon find out after his recent attempts to wine and dine the Trump camp for Labour.
Back to the action, and Ed Davey jumps up on the top turnbuckle to deliver a frog splash somersault diving takedown, and Sunak hits the deck. Davey flick-flacks backwards and over the top rope, only to land on a unicycle to give a lap of honour, and the crowd goes wild.
Starmer lunges to his right to make a quick pin, and Denyer steps in the way and flicks a lit joint in his face. Blindsided, he staggers back and Adrian Ramsey follows up by smashing him in the face with the Green Manifesto, which is far heavier with socialist policies than Labour's Spare Some Change pamphlet.
The drag of those empty promises had already cost him a lot of momentum, and all of a sudden people are wondering if he has the stomach for the job at hand. Sunak barely looks capable of putting up a fight, and the crowd are crying for someone to put him out of his misery. Nevertheless, no one thinks the champ is here.
John Swinney suddenly pulls the cover off the Brexit elephant in the ring and charges towards Starmer and Sunak, but the ref steps in and eliminates him from the discussion. We won't be hearing from him again tonight.
There's fantasy entering the fray now as Farage belches out a gas containing an army of invading phantoms to scare his opponents into abandoning their principles. But a few of the ringside reporters are letting off some flashbulbs, and the facts shed light on the Plastic Patriots parlour tricks, and the preppers' ghosts are finally dispelled.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Jovan is here! Jovan, Oswald Nepal has arrived in Clacton, and a third of the crowd are electrified.
Farage is just standing there staring in disbelief, milk shaken from the impact this newcomer has made. And let's be honest, he couldn't be a more perfect nemesis for the 21st century Shitler.
Jovan comes flying through the middle ropes and positions himself for a finishing attack when, out of nowhere, Starmer pulls the mat from under his feet and boots him out the ring.
Jovan is looking perplexed and asking why, but Starmer just returns a cold, dead stare and taps his own chest with his thumb as if to say, "I'm the boss."
Ramsey and Denyer move quickly and tangle Starmer up in Palestine and pride flags. Davey joins the alliance to deliver a progressive pile driver.
Starmer is staggering around and can barely find the centre with not much left in the tank. But all Sunak can do is crawl towards him by millimetres and attempt to find an Achilles heel by slapping him on the ankles with a voodoo doll of Jeremy Corbyn. And that goes wide of the mark.
This is starting to look like there may be a real chance for the other contenders to make some moves. We could finally see something spectacularly different.
Apologies, listeners, but all of the lights have gone out here. It looks like the establishment parent media company have gone for a coverage blackout while they rig up some lightning poles.
We're back, and wow, it looks like it might be all over.
Oh, 1, a 2, a 3, 2, 6, and counting.
And Starmer has taken it. Sunak just seemed to lay down and die while Starmer tripped and fell over everything put in front of him, only to land the win by default.
The fireworks are going off, but no one in the crowd looks happy. They're all still out of pocket from the ticket price attached to this debacle and ready for the same old routines next week.
No one really feels like a winner, except of course all of those MPs that had a bet on when tonight's match was going to be, or a flusher on themselves to lose.
Farage has grabbed a seat and he's smashing Starmer on the back of the head with it. It looks like he's going to regret not holding the line on fighting fascism literally on the beaches of Clacton.
He's been relying on his flip-flops for so long he doesn't seem to realise he's been taking steps backwards. Nevertheless, by retreating from the shores of honesty and integrity, he has slumped into the seat of power, and Sir Keir takes the title that he's always wanted.
The other parties are scrambling for a few seats while the Labour forces clean out, but the chances of stalls are now low with so many red bums on seats.
And that brings us to the inevitable conclusion of this pantomime for another parliamentary term. We'll see you next time, probably in the same crumbling ruins we have now, because spending millions of public funds on building a new one seems obscene while we have so many food banks in active use.
Let's hope we don't have the stomach for the same diet of deceit going forward.
Hasn't the penny leg drop hit by now? It's too late to kick out when you're pinned down with the mandatable claw. What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do when Starmer Mania runs wild on you? Good night.
The Strange Mole Show. The Strange Mole Show.
Here you go, my beauties. Dinner time. Now then, what else needs doing? I suppose I should go over the good egg inventory again whilst they're incubating. 1, 2, 3, 4...
Hang on, my boy. How is everything?
Well, surprisingly calm, sir. All of our systems are showing strong and stable. The lapdogs have been fed and the funding is coming in thick and fast. The voting for the general election is imminent, and it looks like all of your plans have worked perfectly to deliver a whopping Labour majority.
Excellent. As a wise man once said, I love it when a plan comes together.
Indeed, sir. I must say, it's a refreshingly stark difference to my time working with Professor Throdinger.
How so?
Well, every day we seem to move from one crisis to the next, and we never really managed to deliver the technical solutions to Brexit like we promised. Whereas you, sir, well, you seem to have everything locked down, if you pardon the COVID expression. I don't know how you've done it.
It was all very simple to solve if anyone stopped to think about it logically. I simply took the data from all the times that the Tories won power,
compressed all of their catastrophic cock-ups and cruelty into a constant. Let's represent that with the letters GTTO, and then subtracted the values of H and I to get the formula for the Labour Manifesto.
What do the H and the I stand for?
Honesty and integrity, of course. And then I put this back into the dissatisfaction amplifier via a focus group feedback loop, coated it with sugar, and then I fed it to the masses when the election bell rang.
But there's one thing that puzzles me, sir.
What's that?
I don't see Brexit anywhere in the calculations, sir.
For goodness sake, Igor. The public never really swallowed that, and you should know better than to mention the B word in this unstable environment. Quickly, pull the lever on the blue box over there.
Yes, sir. What is that, sir?
It's just a simple countermeasure. It's nothing to worry about.
It sounded like a cat being thrown.
Did it? Fancy that! It's amazing how the brain can draw comparisons with the things that it hears.
I've just done a CAT scan, and I can't see one alive or dead on the monitor.
There you go then. There's nothing to worry about.
Where did this countermeasure machine come from, sir?
It's something I've had forever. I picked it up at a science fair ages ago in California from a start-up tech company.
Warning. Fascism detectors show Nigel Farage has entered the election race.
What? Now's look at what you've done. You mentioned the B word and now he's back.
That can't have been me, sir. This lab is soundproofed. I'll scan the airwaves for breaches. No, sir, nothing. No one has said anything about it. It looks like he crawled out of the rotting woodwork of a Clacton pier. I think the Tory blood in the water has brought him out.
Warning. Reform popularity rising.
How can this be? We haven't done anything.
Maybe that's the problem, sir.
Well, we'll just have to try something new. Pull that lever again.
Yes, sir.
Warning. Fascism still rising.
Damn it! That's not working either!
Looking at the electoral map, sir, Reform seems to be drawing power from all of the areas that got left behind, and when they fell for voted to leave, sir.
How can that be? Surely they must see the damage effect that was caused by their vote.
Something seems to have made them all blind, sir, except for reading Facebook posts about immigration and watching AI deepfake videos of Stormer playing Minecraft.
Oh, this is so bizarre.
Why does this seem familiar? Think. Sir, long-range scanners detect France is also going fascist.
What the hell is going on? Shall we try this lever again, do you think?
No, sir. Tell me more about the company that you got this magical tech box from.
I told you already. It was on a lecture tour in California when a young man approached me from Minicot Corporation with a device that he said could revolutionise the fishing industry and everything else in the UK with a simple flick of a switch.
Minicod? Mini-cod? Oh no, sir. If you rearrange the letters, you get Dominic.
What?
Oh, we need to get out of here, sir, right now.
Why? What's going on?
There's no time to explain, sir. Quickly, get into the van. We have to go.
But what about the test subjects?
They're already infected, sir. We have to leave now. Come on! Come on! Igor, I demand that you tell me what's going on. Why are you so afraid? It was the anagram in the name Minicod. I should have known. Professor Throdinger assumed he was defeated as soon as his death was cleared and packed away in a box. But of course, he never checked to see if he was alive or dead. Stupid! Who is Minicod? If you rearrange the letters, you get Dominic. It's Dominic Cummings, sir. Oh no! He's here!
Get out of the van! Evacuate! Evacuate!
Do as he says, sir. Don't shoot! We're coming out now!
Move! Back to the lab with you!
Igor? Who is this Cummings? He was the mastermind behind the Analytica. A huge data-gathering device that tapped into the nation's psyche and tricked them into a great act of self-harm. The monster!
You call me a monster, but I only seek to purify the land for the greater good.
You choked the people with lies, and you made them turn on themselves, made them hate anyone different, and starve themselves of resources. You turned them blind to evidence and deaf to expertise, and you stole all of their hopes and dreams.
Yes, our plans were executed perfectly. Such sovereignty was ours.
But you were stopped. You were sacked. Your own lies were turned against you, and we buried you under Bernard Castle.
But you did nothing about my creation, the Analytica. Our agents took the data and created a new artificial intelligence and sent it into the future elections.
How did we not see this coming?
You fell into my trap by trying to rewrite history on Starmer's promises and Brexit positioning. Captain Hindsight became blind to the truth of the past. You weakened the fabric of trust that holds our political reality together so that all promises became meaningless. Meanwhile, my algorithms were working secretly in the background, normalizing fascist discourse, and while the government under my control whitewashed the Russia report away, you carried me along with your silence.
We've got to try something to stop this! No, sir!
Allons-y!
It didn't work. Of course it didn't. You've been using the same weapons of mass distraction from the culture wars that he was. Is this why the Tories have been lying down and letting us win this time?
Ha 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 ha, yes. My ideas are baked into your ideology and budgets for your first term, and now everything you try to launch will spin out of control into a dead cat. With no measurable change, even your strongest allies will fall as your base and core voters fester, and they will turn green before your eyes. But it will be too late, and the planet will burn from my reform zombie army that roams the land causing terror.
Igor, do something! There's nothing I can do, sir. Starmer's victory is now an established fact on the public events horizon, and any attempt of course change is shut down by a tight-knit override circuit woven from Tory donor income streams. Is there nothing we can do? I suppose we could short the pound and bet on a few Tory election outcomes. Nein! I will not fight fire with fire. I will not let the Labour Party be consumed from within by UKIPers until they self-destruct in the same way that the Tories did. We must take back control of the party mindset.
It's too late, sir. The mini-contact has turned them into a flip-flopping wet fish. And besides, we haven't got so much as a 3-word slogan to come back at them with.
Your resistance is futile. Accept the gift of power and release the full force of private investment in your schools, prisons and hospitals to achieve growth for the already wealthy. There is nothing you can do now.
Igor, that's it. We can't do anything about it now. The vote is too close. But the future, that's where we can make a change. Come on, back to your van with the Quantum Leap Accelerator pedal!
Yes, sir.
No, you cannot stop my progress. Deregulate, deregulate.
To be continued.
While the youngsters are glamping at Glasgow, let's head to our very own Poetry Corner with Spam Airs.
What with everyone talking about this here general election, I thought I'd give you a reminder of what it's all about. What's this all about then? This leaflet by my door, full of all these promises and nothing to vote for? Sunak lying in the road for Nigel's battle bus. Starmer pulls his candidate for causing too much fuss. What's this all about then? Tories being Tories, Labour bringing small c change and telling the same stories. The Greens, the Libs, the SNP all sounding much more stable. But Labour steam first past the post and PR's off the table? What's this all about then? A limited company? Does the Fraud Act not apply to their duplicity? The papers, podcasts, TV shows all normalise the discourse, and inch by inch they gain the ground to give their hate some real force. What's this all about then? Starmer's a dead cert. Don't expect a flood of growth. It's going to be a spurt. 'Cause no one mentions Brexit. We ignore the elephant. But if you think you can make it work, well, you're just a stupid cunt.
And there's time for one final lament from the Tories. Let's head to the pyramid scheme stage now to hear Chasing Votes. We sold it all, everything, to our own. It's just greed, you can see, like anyone. But if I stoke fear, if I just stoke fear, would the lies work? Would you just forget the past? I don't know how it worked or how we won. Just 3 words on a bus just aren't enough. But if I stoke fear, if I just stoke fear, would the lies work and you'd just forget the past? Forget what you're told. Forget we killed the old. I'll show you a garden that's filled with wasted crops. Don't waste time chasing votes. Place your bets. I need odds on voting day for one last heist. If I lay bets, if I just lay bets, would you bet on me and just elect a turd? Forget what you want, elect a new commandant. Show me a reform that's bursting into life. All that I am, all that I ever was here for the money prize and all that I could fleece. I don't know who's confused about how this went. Just know that these things will never change if you don't vote. If I stoke fear, if I just stoke fear, would the lie work? Would you just forget the past? The Strange Mole Show is written by the Holy Mole and performed alongside Chris Doc Strange and Chrissy Gregg. Additional musical material by Augusta Lees. Find back episodes at strangemole.co.uk.